Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I appreciate you watching it. I am almost up to 200 subscribers. Yay! Here on YouTube channel, and it's under the name Libby. Anyway, I thought I've been trying to come up with an idea for the two rods that I made into quartz, and I also asked for suggestions, and it's been over a week, and nobody's really left a suggestion in my uh, or a comment about it. So I have to come up with an idea. I think I'm going to do, and I've just recently done some wind chimes, and I will hold on. Thanks to modern technology, I was able to stop for a second, and I had to go in my house, and I made a video on YouTube or on Facebook the other day. Um, One of the things I'm doing with the quartz is making some wind chimes. We have a seahorse, nice dolphin, and a nice mermaid. I've got several of these. And anything you make out of quartz has that tone quality. It is a very unique property that I like. Anyway, um, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a angel of all things. And I'm going to turn that into a wind chime as well. I hope you enjoy the show and have a good day, or enjoy your day is better. Thanks to modern technology, I was able to stop for a second, and I had to go in my house, and I made a video on YouTube or on Facebook the other day. One of the things I'm doing with the quartz is making some wind chimes. We have a seahorse, nice dolphin, and a nice mermaid. I've got several of these. And anything you make out of quartz has that tone quality. It is a very unique property that I like. Anyway, um, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a angel of all things, and I'm going to turn that into a wind chime as well. I hope you enjoy the show and have a good day, or enjoy your day is better. Okay, first of all, let me, you're seeing things on my table, and you can see there's sort of a pattern here. As I grab something, I'll set it down, and I usually set it at an angle like this, and as it gets further away, uh, the angle still stays there, and I tend to move things around as I go. Um, and I do, from time to time, straighten up. Believe it or not, it's just the way things go. Oh, darn. That went down to the bottom of that box, and there's no way to get it at the moment, but that's okay. Uh, okay, first of all, let me, you're seeing things on my table, and you can see there's sort of a pattern here. As I grab something, I'll set it down, and I usually set it at an angle like this, and as it gets further away, uh, the angle still stays there, and I tend to move things around as I go. Um, and I do, from time to time, straighten up. Believe it or not, it's just the way things go. Oh, darn. That went down to the bottom of that box, and there's no way to get it at the moment, but that's okay. Anyway, this is one of my latest projects, and you can sort of see a couple of them sitting there. My daughter is into Pokemon, and she asked me, "Can you do some Pokemon balls?" And I said, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And came up with this little design. Uh, and yes, I can do a video on that later, but leave a question or comment in the comment section and we'll see what we can do. Um, I am still working on one of the ideas that I've had is to do a video on simple tools. And no, I have not stopped working on it. It is on the back burner though. It's one of those things where I'm not doing it. Uh, but surprisingly, there are simple tools and then there are more complex tools. But I'm going to do probably 3 or 4 tools in each show and go from there. I haven't done it quite yet, but we're going to get there. Anyway, yes, like you see, there's a pattern. And yes, I wouldn't say completely disorganized, but I have my moments. Right, right. Now, what I have on mind is to do an angel wind chimes. And with that, let's get the ball rolling. And yes, we have this in front of the torch so that you guys can see. And actually, it does a dual purpose for me too, in that I can see what's going on inside the flame without having to put on quartz glasses. And yes, I'm wearing didymiums also on top of that, so it does have its moments. Now, let's try to get into this. I still have the 2 rods that I made from that one demo, and it looks like it's reached over 200 views, which is wow. The first one that I ever did is over 200, and the last one I did is over 200. The rest of them in the middle, that's a different story. Anyway, but what I'm going to do now is make an angel wind chime. I usually on my wind chimes do a figurine in the middle and a ring of quartz around it. And the ring, well, the figurine by itself would make a chime, but the ring of quartz around it gives it more vibration and more chiming capability. Um, I can also do other ones. I can do a drag. Give me some suggestions on what you'd like to see done in quartz, and I will see what I can do to come up with um, an idea for it. Okay. Now, first of all, a regular angel, like the Moroni, has wings. Everybody thinks of angels having wings, and that's because they transport so fast and can probably levitate if they wanted to. Oops, I don't want to get that too screwed up. Okay. Give some select furls or wrinkles in the, what do they call those things that angels wear? Smock? A smock? Anyway, doing it again. Hold it. Don't need to get that out of the way. Well, that might help. Tilt it in the right direction, huh? A tunic. That's what it is. Anyway, enough of my definitions. Angels in the Outfield. Anyway, that's another movie I like. Christopher Lloyd's in that one, isn't it? Now, what I did was just basically line the outside, and it sort of gives wrinkles to the outside of the angel's smock. Tunic, excuse me. Whatever it is. More furls and wrinkles. Right, right. One thing about quartz, you can see it takes a little longer to melt, for one. Of course, I'll do it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Not this one, but in the next show, I'll do a demo of the melting quickness of the three types of glass that most people use. Well, the two that most people use is borosilicate and what they consider soft glasses, like soda bottles, wine bottles, stained glass windows. That's the type of one type of glass, and the other type is borosilicate, like test tubes, cookware, and so on. And quartz is even a higher COE, which is coefficient of expansion and contraction. One of those high phalangling words, highfalutin words. There we go. Talk about highfalutin. I live in North Carolina, and one of my favorite things is to sort of, yes, I know how words are actually pronounced, like um, for the French to say, have a good meal, it's bon appetit, I think. But I say, us North Carolinians like to say bon appetit. Anyway, yeah, you don't have to laugh if you don't want to. I know that's a dry, dead joke, but it works for me from time to time. And we're almost there. We got the head. We got the body. Let's round that in a little more. What's going on that it keeps sliding? The vibration from, I guess, my oxygen concentrator. Why do most people think of an angel and think of a woman with nice blonde hair? Well, in this case, this angel is going to have platinum blonde hair. Another interesting thing about quartz is when you fold it out into you'll notice if you ever start playing with quartz, in that you'll notice that anything you draw out into a point, you can draw out into a really nice sharp point. Okay, this is getting a little bit too short for me. I'm going to take and put that on the end of a rod. Quartz, of course. It's not necessarily that the heat is transferring on the glass or the quartz, but the light around where my fingers were is really, really intense. And it is like, okay, getting warm here. And my fingers can take a little bit of heat, believe me. Take a little bit of heat without any problem. Because I've been at it since 1982. It comes in handy when you're doing dishes in a sink because you can heat up the water so much hotter and work the dishes so much better. Well, since this is quartz, I can do more fine detail too, because quartz has its ways I'm concentrating on doing what I'm doing and also concentrating on making the glass. But quartz has its way of making finer lines and sharper edges because it melts at a higher temperature, and it sort of freezes almost instantaneously after you take it out of the flame. So that's what that's all about. There we go. And you can see it sort of, okay, let me organize that just a little bit better. There we go. And it's kind of hard that when I take it out from behind that shield, it's like, ah, my eyes! Because, yeah, it is kind of bright. Even for me. Even here. Even now. There we go. Oop. A little bit evening up here. Now, let's see if I can pull this up just a little bit. There we go. I just looked in the frame, and I don't want to touch this because it's really hot. I just looked in the frame and realized that it was slumping low, but it was not out of the frame yet at where it was inside the flame. But I decided to take care of it anyway. How can I do that? Right there. There's just a little bit of a bump right there. There we go. Oh yeah. I'll stretch it out a little bit more. You got to make the wings look symmetrical, at least a little. Okay. Now, putting this in a chime, that's going to be fun. We're going to do a top. When you're putting quartz together, just like you're putting anything else together, you got to make sure you're sealing and fusing the two pieces together and not just sticking them together, especially with quartz, because quartz melting at a higher temperature will take even and break even quicker at a scratch or a dent or where it's welded together. Just lightly instead of correctly. You got to make sure you're warming it in. You know, I've started. Let's do it. Now, we're at 15 minutes already. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm sort of still looking for suggestions on what to make um, those two rods into that I did in the last show. Um, Still waiting and still very patient. That's one thing I've learned with my glass is to have a little patience, and eventually somebody will come up with the right idea. But in the meantime, this one's gonna be an angel. The next one I'm gonna do in this series, and I'll probably make him a little smaller, is I'm gonna do a wizard. I love my wizards. Love my dragons. Actually, I love just about everything that I really do. There's very few things that I sort of say, I don't want to do this when it comes to glass. It's fun learning new things. I'm still looking forward one day to getting into a glory hole and doing some type of, maybe some marbles or vases or something like that in a blowing situation. Really excited one day to know that I'll be able to do that, but I haven't done it yet. Something to look forward to in life. And again, as I do this and I'm drawing stretching the quartz a little bit and maneuvering it where I want it, I'll probably go back a little bit and add here and there. I probably should have gone ahead and made some rod at the right size to begin with, but didn't do that. Why do that? But that's the thing about quartz is that it takes longer to do because it's so much harder to melt. Ah, getting the warm on the fingers on the other one now. Ah, they're together. I'll hold this one and start melting with the other rod now. Bring it all together. Well, you get the logistics. I'm going to go ahead and stop this right now. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other side. And because it takes so long, and I know after 15 minutes everybody's bored to tears with it, well, I guess I can continue going. Never mind. I have to finish no matter what. I was just thinking of this uploading to YouTube. It's going to take forever. It may be done by the time I go to work tonight. Who knows? Or it could be middle of the night. And as you can see, it flows real slow. I could probably kick up the heat now. The reason I didn't have it up high is because I wanted to get some detail in what I was doing. And yes, it takes a little bit more time to do it that way, because again, it melts at a higher temperature. I'm just having an idea of how to sign this thing. Since quartz melts at a higher temperature, I might be able to sign it and leave definition of the sign, like on this outer ring. Now I put a loop here, which is how it will hang and chime. I'm also going to put this sideways so that if somebody wanted to wear it as a pendant piece. I think I've done a couple of the quartz chimes that way. So it could be either pendant slash chime slash whatever you want to with it. Okay, I'm going to hold it here, and now fire polish the bottom parts here. Pull that off gently. Yes, it takes a little longer. Quartz is like that. 23 minutes. This is going to take 4 hours to upload. I don't have very good internet speed here. I'm going to change that soon, I hope. So, okay, let's try the signing. All I'm going to put is my initials, LVBL. My full name is Lucian Van Buren Libby. Yeah, I guess my parents had a... Actually, I was named after one of my grandfathers, great-grandfathers, excuse me. So I'm actually Lucian Van Buren Libby the second. My initials, LVBL. Okay, the idea... Where's a good place to sign this sucker? Okay, first of all, let's take it down. I don't need to do high velocity here. Next thing, I got to make sure it's thin enough. There we go. Accessible, acknowledgeable. First piece I've ever signed in quartz. Now I've signed a couple of my other works. I should have put that on the back. I have signed a couple of my other works. I've made a millie with my initials in it and nip it off inside a piece and put it in that way. Anyway, we're done. Yeah, I should have signed it in the back. I guess I could, but it's there. Okay. Tap it off. Oh, don't tell me that. I must have. Ooh, I really melted it on. Holy cow. Didn't realize how seriously I melted that on there. Okay. And let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm going to take off my headphones and see if we can't put it closer. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. And actually, I will. Actually, I'll give you another angle and maybe even a camera shot. Actually, I'll do the camera shot like I always do. Thank you. And enjoy your day. 30 minutes. Holy cow. Okay. I put that in there to give you an idea of size. But I also want you to hear. One quartz angel wind chime.